right now. We do this every day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. I try to bring good vibes to the internet. I hope you bring good vibes into the chat. And together, hopefully, we make a whole bunch of progress in our hip mobility towards better movement and towards better side splits. If that sounds cool, follow along, hang out, and we will work on them together. And at some point, I'll change the pitch, and I hope that you subscribe and follow. Let's go. The first thing we're going to do is some hip CARs. CARs stands for controlled articulated rotations. And these are all about moving your legs through their full range of motion, at the hip at least, hip CARs, using just your muscle power. So let's talk about it. What we're doing, we're lifting the knee as high as possible, directly in front. Then we're going to rotate then we're going to open up the hip as wide as we can directly to the side. From here, we're going to rotate that leg. We're going to aim to get horizontal. Horizontal is just the starting point. I'm going to rotate my body so you can see a different angle. Once you get horizontal, I want you to try your best to lift that ankle even more. Lift. It's all right if your knee comes down because we want the rotation to happen at the hips. But if you feel like you can lift that ankle higher and the knee higher, do that. From here, we're bringing the leg down and back, flexing the hamstrings, flexing the glutes, really pulling on this hip flexor right here in the front of the hip. And that is 1 rep. We walked it through nice and slow. Don't worry. We don't have to hold each of these positions for this long when we're doing it. I'm going to count out and I'm going to call out all of the different moves that we're doing. All right, let's go. We're doing 10 reps. Starting with high knee. Open up. Ankle to horizontal. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 1. High open. Ankle up. Down and back. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 4. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. 5. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. 6. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. 7. Open. Ankle. Down and back. 8. Open. Ankle. Down and back. 9. Open. Ankle. Down and back. Last 1. And 10. Whew, those are hip CARs. For our left side, again, these are all about moving your hips using your own muscle power so that you're getting more mobile and you're getting stronger at the same time. Switch over to the other side. Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. 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 I think that's 5. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. 6. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. 7. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. 8. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. 9. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. Last 1. And that is hip CARs going forward. If your legs are tired, if your hamstrings are tight, shake it out. Give yourself a little break. Breathe. Grab a sip of water if you need it. And let's get ready to get into reverse hip CARs. In reverse, we're doing the same main positions, but we're doing them backwards. So we're going to start by bringing the leg down and back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull this hip flexor into a stretched position. And from here, we're going to lift that leg up to the side. You can feel like you're a cool martial artist or something. Go whoosh, give it a nice kick. Try to just do that once because then we'll be here for a really long time. From here, we're going to rotate and bring that ankle up. Then do the opposite. We're going to bring the ankle all the way down, lift the knee, and bring the knee in front. That is 1 rep. I'm going to call out all the little pieces. Let's get ready to crush some hip CARs. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 2, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 3, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 4, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 5, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 6, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 7, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 8, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 9, last one, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, 10. If your legs are getting tired and you need to take a little bit of a break, know that there's just one leg left. You're almost done. And to give you a break, actually, we can do this. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of hip mobility and side splits training. We do this every single day to practice the most important quality, consistency. Hopefully, build a little bit of community. I try to bring good vibes to the internet. I hope you bring good vibes into the chat. Welcome each other, answer questions, say hello, count how many days you've been here if you like. Let us help you stay consistent as well. Whew. Man, I should have breathed at some point during that sentence. We do this every day. So come on in, join us, follow along. This is the very beginning of our workout, so feel free to hang out for a little bit, see if you like the vibe, see if the energy is good, and hit follow and subscribe when you decide it's time. Cool, let's go. We got one last leg to do hip curls for, and we're going right now. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 2, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, 5, I think, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. All right. Those are the hip curls. That's the first of our 3 warm-up exercises. We're doing 3 warm-up exercises and 5 stretches. The 5th and final thing we're going to do is the side splits themselves. But since the hip curls are so intense, we're going to get into a gentle second warm-up exercise, and it looks a little bit like this. We're going to fold at the hips, get into this L shape, and this is technically a hamstring stretch, but for most of us, you might be feeling a lot of relaxation in the low back right now. Give yourself a couple of seconds just to hang out here, massage your low back, your spine just a little bit. Once that tension has gone away, or at least subsided a bit, I want you to keep on focusing on bringing your belly button down to the ground. Whew. Just chill here for a little bit. Breathe, do a little dance, pulse. Nothing super intense. We're just bouncing ever so slightly, giving a little movement to the muscles, helping them wake up and get ready to move. Mostly get ready to stretch, but get ready to move. Stretching, that's moving. Cool. We've hung out here, doing a little tiny bounce for a little bit now. Let's start bending one knee at a time. This is actually the elephant walk part of the elephant walk. We're trying to bring the belly button down to the ground, and we're going to bend one knee at a time, and we're going to keep on switching the side that the leg is bent on. So right now my left leg is bent, my right leg is straight, and I'm switching back and forth. When you're doing this, your hamstrings should feel super ridiculously tight, and your whole leg, the whole back of your leg is probably a little bit uncomfortable. That is okay. We are putting them through a crazy range of motion, and then we're forcing ourselves to move through it. That is going to be challenging for everybody. All right. We want to move and keep on going until suddenly you realize, oh, this is a little bit smoother than before. And once we've gotten there, or 5 more seconds is over, then we'll be ready to move on. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. While doing those, you might have noticed that maybe your calves are a little bit tingly, maybe your toes are a little bit tingly. Typically, this is called nerve flossing or nerve stretching. And if you need to, you can Google that a little bit afterwards. And if there are any terms you need me to reiterate, so you can hit up Google afterwards or ChatGPT, whatever, let me know at the end in the chat. I'll hang out in the chat for a little bit at the end. Let's go. That was the second warm-up exercise. But there's a part 2 to that second warm-up exercise. We're going to get back into that same position now that our toes are no longer tingling. We're going to fold back down. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to reach the bent knee's hand across to the other side of the body. We're going to use that to help push and help open up the chest. So my right leg is straight. My chest is rotating to the right. My right hand is extending up into the air behind me. And I'm looking at my right hand with my eyeballs, so my neck is also rotated to the right. I talk fast, but you do not have to move fast. Take it nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time, and reach. Do the same on the other side, and that is 1 rep. We're going to do 5 in total, so there's 4 left. Let's go. Again, left knee is bent. Right leg is straight. Left hand reaches across the body to the right side to help everything rotate to the right. Reach behind. Look at where your hands are and come back down. Other side. Left leg is straight. Chest is rotating to the left. Left arm is going up into the air. Rotate, 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 rotate. And back down. That is 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. Hope your back is feeling a little bit looser. Maybe your shoulder blades and shoulders are a little bit more tired because they were really reaching back. Luckily for you, that is all that we do for the back end for the arms. So it's time to move on. The next thing that we're going to do, the final warm-up exercise, is the Cossack switch. And in general, it looks a little bit like this. We're opening up our legs decently wide, and we're trying to drop down to one side into something that looks like a really deep squat. And this other leg is extending out over here. The switch part of the Cossack switch is getting your butt over to the other side, squishing down, and then come back over and squishing down. It's a hard position for everybody to get into, pretty much 99% of the world. So what I'm going to do is ask you to squat down and get into a little ball first to pre-stretch your body, to pre-stretch your hips. Get yourself used to this position a little bit. Come on down, hug your knees to your chest, lean a little bit forward so that your Achilles tendon, your ankles are getting a bit of a stretch. And just hang out here for a little bit. All right. While you hang out, I'm going to call out some details about the Cossack switch that we can incorporate when we start moving in it. That means stay in a ball. I'm going to talk about stuff, and then later I'll tell you to join in. All right. From here, we're in this position, right? The just having hugged ourselves position. We're going to stick our hands in front of us. We're going to extend this leg out so that the heel is down. And we're going to drop our own heel down on the ground. So what we've talked about so far, hands down, heels down. When your heels come down, you might not have enough flexibility to stay small and compact. You might have to come up and be a little taller like this. That is absolutely a-okay. From here, keep your hands low, put them on the ground, give yourself support to help bring your hips over to the other side. Once you can, see if you can squish as small and compact as possible on the other side. Try your best to keep your heels down. From here, we're just walking our hands over. That's it. Ta-da! Boom. All right. Let's do it. That's all the instruction you're getting. Get into position. Come out of that tucked ball position. Put your hands in front of you, extend the leg. We're doing 10 reps from side to side. Hands down, scoot the butt over, sit in it for a second, scoot back. 1, 2. If you're feeling strong, you don't need to put your hands on the ground. You can keep your chest in the same position as you were when your hands were on the ground, so you don't have to relearn your balance, and keep going from side to side. I believe we just finished number 4. If your knees are getting a little bit achy, keeping your butt super low, you can come up a little bit, come out into a quarter of a squat, come across first, and then sink into that squished down small position, then come back up and across, and then sink down. You can make it easier on yourself by coming up really high and then sinking down into that stretch. All right? Let's go. I think that was 6, 7, 8, last 2, 9, and 10. Those are the Cossack switches. If you are not done with all 10, but you're emotionally done, you can also wrap up. But if you want to keep going and you need a little bit of a break and you're about to catch up, don't worry, I talk a lot and we got some filler time that you can use to finish up the Cossack switches, like all the talking I just did. We just finished up our 3 warm-up exercises. We're going to move on into our 5 stretches. The first stretch is a hamstring stretch. I recommend you grab a cushion because we're going to drop down onto one knee for this stretch. In the meantime, when you go grab those things, I'm going to grab a sip of water, look at the chat real quick. And I'm going to remind you that we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching every single day to practice consistency, build some community, and hopefully we make a whole bunch of progress in our hips, in better movement, and side splits. Cool. If that sounds cool, if that sounds fun, you like consistency, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We're here every single day at 9 p.m. Tanet's Lotus says bad knees. Bad knees make it really challenging to do the Cossack switches, for sure. And if you do want to make the Cossack switch a little bit easier on your knees, you're just going to have to figure out what ranges of motion you can hit, or you're probably close to hitting. There are many points in the Cossack switch where if you have weight here in the knee with the extended leg, you shouldn't have that much, but if you do, it'll be very uncomfortable. And so to avoid that, I would recommend try to externally rotate the legs so that your knee is pointing upwards and not to the side. That will help protect the inside of the knee here. But this leg, when you're trying to keep your hips really low and go from side to side, you're going to feel a lot of tension and a lot of pressure here on the inside of the leg when your hips are low. So one of the things that you can do to slowly strengthen your knees is focus on coming up really high and then squatting down. I open my legs very wide, but you don't have to open it so wide. You can hang out with something that looks a little bit more like this and come more straight up and down. Ooh, almost lost balance there for a second. And that should be an angle that your knees are usually a little bit better to handle compared to something that looks like this with the rest of your body opened up. Give that a try and let me know how it goes. We're not doing any more Cossack switches, so maybe you'll have to try it tomorrow. Let's move on, everybody. We are getting into some hamstring stretches. One last sip of water. Now we're getting to some hamstring stretches. If you grab the cushion, it could be anything. Foam, mat, old sneakers, something that just give a little bit of cushion for your knees. I want you to drop down, point your hips forward, your shoulders forward, your head forward, and then the leg you want to stretch forward. My left leg is my bad leg, so I'm going to actually start with my left leg. I have been doing the right leg first forever. I'm going to start with my left today, and it's really throwing me off. From here, our goal is to take this belly button and bring it down to touch the thighs. All right? That's the goal. You don't actually have to touch your belly button to the thighs. And I'm going to rotate so you can see the angles a little bit better. And let's talk about what else we're going to do. We're going to fold forward, right? Step number 1. Your hamstrings are going to tighten up. That's okay. Take some normal breaths. Make it normal. Try to relax. You'll feel the stretch here, sort of in the glute and in the hamstring, maybe in the back of the knee a little bit. From here, we're going to take a big inhale, slowly exhale, and we're going to fold. Ready? Inhale. Exhale and fold. We're starting with the bad leg because I accidentally, not intentionally, take a lot more time to explain it the first time around. The other leg doesn't get as much time, so we can give more time to the leg that's not so good. Inhale one more time. Exhale and fold. And get yourself into a deep stretch. Try to keep your back relatively straight. As long as your head and your shoulders and your chest aren't turning into a round ball like this, you're probably okay. Try your best to focus on bringing your belly button down. And your belly button is the lowest part of your whole body. And that will be a good start. That's it. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30. 29. 28. 27. 26. 25. 24. 23. 22. 21. 20. 19. 18. While you breathe, keep on trying to bring your belly button slightly lower to the ground. 16. 15. 14. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. If you find yourself looking down at the ground and that's causing you to bend forward, you can look up slightly in front of you. 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch for that left leg, or for your weak leg. We're going to switch over to the other side. Whew. I have an old injury in the leg we just did, so I struggle with setting up that hamstring stretch. This one is going to be a little bit easier, and I hope you're ready because we're going to go a little bit faster. Not on the count, just the setup. Fold forward. Breathe. Normal breath, that was. We're going to do inhale, exhale. Ready? Inhale. Exhale and fold. Take some normal breaths, just a couple, and then one more inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale and fold. Keep on trying to bring that belly button down into the ground. Try to keep the back relatively straight. And 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Don't hold your breath. Keep breathing normal. Try to let your glutes relax. Let your hamstrings relax. Fold a little bit more forward. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, come on out of that stretch. Breathe, chill for a second, and you can get rid of the cushion. You don't need it anymore. That is the only thing we need the cushion for. Let's get into stretch number 2. What we're doing next is called the butterfly stretch. In some other countries, they might call it the tailor's pose. Come on over to a wall, something you can lean your back against. It will be super helpful, make the stretch way easier to do. Have your hips, your shoulders, your head against the wall. Experience what maybe good posture could be. Grab your feet, bring them together, pull them into your groin, and we're in the butterfly stretch. This is the starting position. The goal of the stretch is to stretch out the muscles here in the groin. To do that, what you do is you bring your knees down into the ground. All right, so you're opening up, bring the knees into the ground. I want you to use your muscles to do this because I want you to get stronger as we stretch. And I want you to use your outer thigh muscles and your glutes to help open up your hips. If this is your first time joining in, you have no idea how to use those muscles, just look at your knees. And if they're going down towards the ground, it's probably the right one. Okay. I'm getting a note. Okay, got it. From here, we are taking our hands, putting some pressure on the legs, and we're pushing down into the legs. When you do this, the tops of your shoulders, the back of your head will be feeling some pressure. That is good because when you apply pressure into your legs, you're also pushing away from your legs. And instead of falling backwards because you didn't have a wall, you have a wall that's keeping you stuck right here, pushing your legs down. That is exactly what we want. So we got our pieces. You've contracted the muscles in your legs. You're pushing your legs down into the ground. Let's go. We're holding for 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Again, we're trying to bring the knees into the ground. Flex the muscles. See if your knees are getting closer to the ground. If they're doing the opposite, then pick some new muscles. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let the hands go first. And you might find that your hips are kind of stuck in this position for a second. That is normal. Just move your legs a little bit, shake the knee around, go, hey, hey, wake up. It's time to go. Hey, hey, wake up. It's time to go. And once you give them a little bit of a wiggle, the legs should wake up and you should be able to flap the wings of the butterfly a little bit and come on up out of that butterfly into our third stretch, the standing pancake. If you are a regular and you didn't get the notice and you're a little confused or we're starting early today, it's because I need to go a little bit earlier than usual today. So we're starting a little bit earlier. And I forgot to tell everybody that on Wednesday night, I also need to start half an hour early. So today we start at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And on Wednesday night, we are also going to start at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Just starting half an hour early to make sure I can get through all of it, hang out in the chat afterwards, and also get my butt moving to other things I got to do. I hope you enjoyed the live. And if you're new to the live, then this is going to be totally weird because from then on, that Wednesday onwards, we're going to be at 9 p.m. every single day. And on weekends, we do a bonus live at 9 a.m. Eastern. So Sunday morning, we have a 9 a.m. live. Most of the time, it's 9 p.m. Monday through Sunday. And for special reasons, today and on Wednesday, I need to start at 8:30. Cool? All right. Where were we? Standing pancake. The standing pancake looks a little bit like this. We're opening up our legs. Doesn't have to be crazy. Doesn't have to be painful. If it is already painful in your hips, bring your legs together so it's not. The goal here is to fold at the hips, bring the belly button down towards the ground. And if it looks like you're just trying to touch your toes, that's right. That's correct. From here, the goal is to fold our bodies down, 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 until our head is in between our legs and we can fold flat. It's a crazy amount of stretch and it's really hard to do. That is why I like the standing pancake. It's because when you do it like this, one, you don't need any equipment, but two, gravity pulls you down, pulling your head down, pulling your chest down, pulling your belly button down, and you don't have to work as hard to get into the position that we're trying to get into. So that is the position that we're trying to get into. Come on, lean forward. If you want to feel a more intense stretch, you can just extend your arms above your head and it will be surprising how much more intense that suddenly becomes. We're folding at the hips, trying to bring the belly button down. And when you're in this position already with your butt pointed up and back, you can open up your legs as wide as you'd like and deal with the suffering. If your legs are tired and you can't handle hanging out in this position without your hands supporting you, then I recommend you sit back on something. It might be useful to just casually lean your butt against the wall and fold forward and just focus on folding forward. When we do the standing pancake variation, we're also strengthening and training our inner thighs to hold our body up. And if you can't handle that training or you don't want to do it today, that's totally fine. Rest your butt, take a seat, and keep on folding forward anyway. Ready? We are filled with information. Let's fold and get into some stretches. Again, belly button coming down. That's the priority. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. If you feel like you're leaning too far forward and you're going to fall on your face, you can stick your butt a little bit further back, and that should help. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, put your hands down. Bring your legs in. You might need to wiggle your heels in, then wiggle your toes in, then wiggle your heels in, wiggle your toes in, until you can kind of squat up. Frequently, if your hamstrings are crying right now, or your inner thigh muscles, the adductors, ADDUCTOR, adductors, are crying, that's a sign that you did a great job. So, congratulations. If you're still suffering and you're still wobbling around like a injured penguin, don't worry. We're taking a couple seconds to rest before we move on to the fourth stretch. The fourth one that we're going to do is going to be the figure four today, because I spent way too long explaining the pigeon and I'm on a time crunch. The figure four stretch looks a little bit like this. We're bringing the leg across the body. We're going to grab that leg. We're going to pull it in towards our chest. Really, what we care about, of course, as always, is the belly button coming down towards the leg. But in general, it's going to look like your chest is flopping over that leg. And the goal is to stretch out this hip right here. All right? If you prefer the pigeon, you can do the pigeon. But I'm going to only explain the figure four today. From here, we get to recover from that horrible standing pancake and lay down on our backs. Don't get too sleepy right now. We're taking a leg, we're crossing over to the other leg. We're reaching our arms through the triangle that we just made and round to pull our knees into our chest. From here, we are in this position, and I want you to pull the leg towards your chest. You want to feel the stretch here in the side of the hip, in the side of the glute, and you might feel a little bit in your hamstrings as well. Pull that knee in. Don't relax your arms too hard. You can relax your neck and your back and everything else, just not your arms. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. The stretch will get more intense as you bring the leg that's crossed over closer to your hips, closer to your chest. And 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let it all go. Relax. Give that hip, that side glute, a little massage if you need it. And let's switch over back to the other side. We just did the left leg, or I did this leg crossed over. Just do your other leg, cross it over, and reach your arms through. Pull the leg in. And if your knees are getting a little bit achy, you can give them a little bit of support with your other hand and that should take a little bit of the pressure off of that knee joint. All right, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. For my viewer with the bad knees from earlier, you definitely want to consider cupping the knee. If you are flexible enough, you can maybe grab your knee and stick it in the elbow to give it a little bit more support and pull that in towards your chest. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep on pulling those arms and those legs in. 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, okay. Relax. Take a break. Breathe. Chill. We just finished 4 of our 5 stretches. All we have left are some side splits. If you're still laying down on the ground, I want you to try to help your back relax a little bit by letting your shoulders stay on the ground and dropping your knee from side to side. If you need a little help with that visual, cross the leg back over, just like our setup for the stretch, and let the foot flop to one side, let the knee flop to the other, and you should be pretty good. All right, come on up out of that, and let's talk about some side splits. Dust off your butt, dust off your shirt, and let's go. The side splits are a challenging exercise, and they are sort of a combination of all of the stretches that we just did. We're taking hip mobility to a intense, impressive looking range, and it gets a little bit scary when we do that, right? So I want you to feel safe. I want you to feel secure when we're doing these stretches. And one of the ways that I recommend you do that is to stand in front of a wall, right here in front of this wall, 8 to 12 inches. If you're experimenting, you're like, ugh, how do I lift this leg? How do I do something? And you suddenly find that you're losing balance. You're like, no. You start falling backwards. If the wall is here, 8 to 12 inches away, maybe your shoulder will hit, maybe your butt will hit. Whatever the situation, it will not be your butt falling another 2 feet, smashing into the ground on the floor and making your butt hurt way more than bumping your shoulder. Cool? So use the wall if you can. If you can't, I'm going to use this table since you can barely see me when I'm using that wall. And when I fall, it's going to look a little bit like this. It's going to be really loud. This table is going to shake a little bit because it's not so sturdy. You got to make compromises. Just make sure you fall back onto something that's sturdy, that will not collapse under you when you fall into it, because that will just make it hurt a lot more and scare the crap out of you even worse. And we don't want that. We're trying to feel safe and we're trying to feel secure. On that note, if you need to grab some cushions, if you want to grab a stool, a chair, different things to help support you when you are in a side split looking position, please take a second, go grab stuff. In general, I don't think you need it, but a small stool, a couple of yoga blocks might help. Okay, let's get into some side splits. We're gonna open up our legs decently wide, nothing crazy. If your hips are hurting because of how wide they are, stop, cut it out. Bring your legs in a little bit. Again, we're folded at the hips, taking a nice bow. And when you're in this position where you're making a right angle and your hips are pointing the same direction as your head and pointing the same direction as your toes, we're basically already set up for doing the side split. From here, you can open up those legs nice and wide, like so. And this is a new angle. Usually I face the camera, but I figured you want to see some different details. From here, we're gonna stick our hands down and we're going to do something that looks a little bit like a push-up. I want you to not build your triceps necessarily, but I want you to bring some of the body weight and shift it forward into your arms so that there's less weight on your legs. When we do that, it makes it a little bit easier to externally rotate, which looks like this. We're rotating the foot so that the heel is down, the toes are up, and the knee is pointing up. I said rotating the foot, but what I meant is rotating the leg. If you just rotate the foot, one, that's crazy range of motion, but two, the thing that matters is actually that the thigh bone rotates in the pelvis so that you don't smash your bones together and make it hurt, right? Remember how just a couple seconds ago we were saying, hey, don't get into a deep position if it hurts. We are in a crazy deep position right now, and hopefully it does not hurt. And the reason for that is because our thigh bone is rotated so that it does not smash into our hip bone. Cool? From here, we're going to walk our hands back towards our hips, and we're going to chill here for a little bit to give ourselves a second to breathe, and then we're going to wiggle from side to side, once to the left, once to the right, once to the left, once to the right, to see if we can break the friction holding our feet back. This is how we're setting up our side split. And from here, 30 seconds, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Walk your hands forward. Come out of that position. Pull your knees in. Try not to have a whole bunch of weight on the knee when you're dragging it in, because that is unnecessary, but also not going to make your knees feel any more comfortable. And I'm just going to kneel here for a second. Ah, man. That first one was going to be intense because I did a lot of extra explaining and teaching. Don't worry, we do a little bit less of that on round number 2, round number 3, so you don't have to hold the sort of in-between position for nearly as long. Now that I've warned you, come on up into standing, and we're going to shake out the tension that we just created in our hips and in our legs. To start, I want you to do something that looks like you're flicking water off of your feet, like you just got out of the swimming pool and you're just trying to dry off your legs a little bit, right? I'm going to flick, 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 flick. As you get more comfortable with this, I want you to drop the knee down a little bit, make it look more casual, more relaxed. I want you to keep flopping. Flick, flop, and have your ankles flopping all over the place. Have that calf muscle swinging around. Just let the legs relax. And then we'll switch to the other side. Again, start with this sort of flicking motion. Then, as you get more comfortable with it, relax it, make it more casual, and flop, 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 flick, 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 flick. You don't have to take it to a crazy level. Your legs should not be flying out to crazy places. It's a small movement that you're doing, and you're just shaking out all of the muscles in your leg. When you shake them out, it's basically impossible for them to be super tense, right? If your arms were super tense, you flexed all the muscles in your arm, and you try to shake them out, you would look ridiculous or be moving like a robot. Same idea, except for your legs. If your legs are just flopping around and shaking around, then the muscles are loose, and we are doing our jobs because we want less tension to help us get into deeper splits. Okay, I think that should be enough. Let's get into side split number 2. Again, stand 8 to 12 inches in front of whatever it is that you're prepared to fall against. I recommend the wall. And let's go. Open up the legs slightly. Remember, no pain. Fold forward. Point your belly button down towards the ground. Place the hands down if you can. Open up the legs if you can. And we're doing a mini push-up to put some extra weight into our arms so that it's easier to externally rotate the leg, which means your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up. Just to show that the knees are pointing up, I'm going to try really hard to lift this knee. There you go. Boom. knee, knee. All right. From here, walk the hands back towards your hips. Take the weight we shifted into our arms, put it right back into our legs. That will help you drop into a deeper stretch. We're gonna do a little wiggle from side to side, and that's it. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in and relax. Try to chill as much as possible. Let those hip muscles go. If you need to give a light massage to the hips, go ahead and massage them out. We're going to get on up. We're going to shake it out one more time. We're going to add a couple more moves to the shaking, to the releasing of tension. And then we're going to get back into round 3 of the side splits and then wrap up. All right, let's go. Come on up into standing. And let's flick those legs. Oh, I almost fell. Flick, 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 flick. As you get more comfortable, you can drop the knee. Let that ankle relax. Let the calves relax. And shake, 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 shake. Cool. Other side. Flick, 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 flick. Sorry. Flick, 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 flick. Keep that relaxed ankle and drop the intensity. Shake, 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 shake. If you do have bad knees, this part right here, doing something like this, is going to be a little bit difficult because your ankle is basically acting like a pendulum clock and you're swinging. You're going to feel a lot of tension and torque on the knee going side to side. So if I do something that resembles this, try to avoid that because your knees are not going to be happy about it. Cool? Next up, we're going to relieve some tension in the hip because that is what we're struggling with when we come out of the side split position. All right? I want you to sort of stand up straight, lean to one side. This leg, pick a leg, doesn't have that much weight on it. You're just on the ball of that foot. All of your weight is in this leg, this other leg that you're leaning into. And I want you to sort of just rotate on the ball of that foot and nothing else is moving. We're relaxed, but nothing else is moving. All of the movement is coming from the thigh bone where it connects to your hip. We're just moving our knee in and out and in and out, and you might feel a little bit of movement here in the hip muscles. And that is what we want. We want to just give a little bit of movement to help those muscles relax and make it so that we can get into side splits a little easier. Let's do the other side. Stand up straight, lean to one side. This leg is not holding any weight. We're dropping the foot so that the ball of the foot is down, or the big toe if you want to keep it really gentle. And we're going to rotate in, out, in, out. Oh, I'm saying it backwards. Out, in. All right, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Open, close, open, close. And as you get more comfortable with this movement and you pick up the speed, pick up the pace, you can do it even more relaxed. You can add it into that leg shake. Your toes don't have to be on the floor anymore. Your toes can be on the floor if you want, but you'll be able to incorporate it into the leg shake so that you don't have to take your time and go and do a little dance. But if you like the little dance, keep going. It's awesome. Do a little dance. Thank you. Okay, cool. Moving on. Side split number 3. Stand in front of the thing that you're going to stand in front of to help keep you safe. I recommend the wall. Let's go. Open up the legs. Again, the hips should not hurt. If they hurt, bring them in. We're folding forward. The belly button is pointing to the ground. We're going to open up the legs a little bit more because in this folded position, we're ready for some side splits. And with your hands down, holding some body weight, it should make it a little easier to externally rotate the legs, which means your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up. This is actually this position. Notice how right now the top of my head is pointed towards you guys. The tops of my hips are pointed towards you guys, and my toes are also pointed towards you guys. This position is literally the exact same position that we're getting ourselves into when we try to go backwards, right? Right now, my toes are pointing up, my hips are pointing up, my head is pointing up. So when you are in, how do I get out of this position? Okay, whew. When we're in this position, forward folded, we're already in a perfect side split position, all right? When I talk about external rotation of the leg and I talk about sitting your hands backwards, it's just so that we can get into this position. It's the exact same position. And the main difference is that because of the new angles, you get to stretch out slightly different muscles. From here, we're stretching out a lot of the underside of the leg. If we roll our hips forward, we're stretching the inner thighs and getting more specific to the side splits. And if you kind of get somewhere in between and you focus on folding forward, you're doing a pancake. All right, so super valuable position. I got distracted in setting up and gave you all the reasons why we set up the way that we do. Hopefully that's helpful and useful. Let's go. Bring your hands to your hips, wiggle from side to side, and 30 seconds, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Again, don't hold your breath. You can probably hear how obnoxiously loud I'm breathing. Breathe as loud as you want. I can't hear you. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. All right, walk your hands forward. Come on out of that stretch. Bring your legs in and kneel. Man, it was tough getting out of that one. Okay. Slowly rise. Come into standing and we're going to shake it out. Shake. If you're feeling like a pro already, you don't have to start with the flick out of the swimming pool. This is just for getting everybody introduced to the idea of flicking water at your enemies and using that flick motion. Your ankles are relaxed and your calves are relaxed at that tail end. And as you get more familiar with it, you can just take it nice and chill. Shake out the leg. Shake. We talked about the wiggle a couple seconds ago, so you can add in that rotation at the hips. If you exaggerate a little bit and bring your knee up, it'll look like you're doing this, that pendulum thing I talked about not doing if you have bad knees and it's going to hurt. But if you bring your knee down and you try to use those same muscles to do it, your knee won't have all that tension, but you'll also have something that looks a little bit more like this. And that will help to shake out the tension in the hip. All right. Shake it out. Forward. Let the leg relax. The ankles flopping all over the place. Your calves are swinging around. Rotate the leg. Again, if it's too hard to figure out how to do it with your leg just floating in the air, you can plant that toe, that big toe, or the ball of your foot, and that can be used to help make it a little bit easier. When you're doing it right, your quad muscles should start flopping around, all right, and start going all over the place. You might have to pick up the intensity of the movement a little bit to get it to flop over, but that is pretty much all you need to know, I think. Since this was the third and final side split, we're going to do a little bit of extra intention for the hips. And it's going to look a little bit like this. We're going to pop into sort of a 30% of a squat, all right? We're going to put all of our weight onto one leg. We're going to rest a little bit of weight onto this leg. We're going to bring it in and out. That movement that we were doing earlier, this is just a more intense version. Before it was to relax, now is to work our hips a little bit, okay? Really open up the hip to the outside. Bring it in, bring it out. The rest of the body's not moving. The only thing that's moving is this leg bone in the hip socket. So I might have just said something like open up the hips. It's not, you don't really have to do anything for that. Just move your leg. Bring it in, bring it out, bring it in, bring it out. If this is starting to feel really intense, you can get into a less wide position, and then you will have to support a little less weight. It'll make it a little bit easier. All right, switch over to the other side. Bring it in, bring as far in as you can, bring it out, in and out, and in and out, and in and out. As you get more comfortable with this, you can start turning it into a dance move. So you incorporate a little bit into your life. If y'all remember the stanky leg as basically this move. So just add it in, make it a dance, make it fun, and enjoy the exercise. If you remember other dance moves that look something like this, add it in, make it fun. Okay, that's almost everything. Your hips should be feeling pretty good, feeling a lot looser. Let's wrap up with some hip circles, some squats, and we'll be done. I like to do hip circles at the end because it forces you to kind of go through this very full range of motion. And because you're doing it, you realize all the things that are achy and stiff and uncomfortable. You probably couldn't hear, but my back just went and cracked in a bunch of places. And I know when I do this, my hips, the sides of my hips are quite tender. So if you get a spot that you've now identified that is a little tender, a little achy, needs a little bit of attention, give it some love. And once you've done that, let's finish that stuff with some high knees. Your knees and your hips will tell you if they're not working, so you only have to do like one or two. Come on down. We're going to fold into something that looks like a squat. And we're going to put our knees in front of our toes to put some pressure in the knees, put some pressure in the ankles. Your Achilles tendon should be super tight. You might be able to even feel that your calf muscles down here are flexing hard to keep you balanced. From here, I want you to do a little bit of a calf raise. 2, 3, you can do as many as you want. But if you're able to balance, you're able to do all those things, you'll be able to fold forward, put pressure on your knees, put pressure on your ankles, extend your calves, you're probably good. You're probably totally fine and ready to go back to doing whatever else you got to do today. Hopefully you enjoyed the live, you enjoyed the light exercise, the stretching, and you're feeling good, and you realized you're capable of doing so much more than you thought, because that is what we're all about. If there's anything to take away from this, there's two things actually. One is side splits externally rotate the leg to help open up that hip. And the second thing is consistency is the most important quality. Actually, hold on, there's a bonus one. And as soon as I sat down to say there's a bonus one, I completely forgot it. Man, that's a bummer. Okay, well, in that case, there was two. Consistency is the most important quality. We're here every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, typically, except on Wednesday. We're going to be here at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We're starting half an hour early. Tomorrow is going to be 9 p.m. Eastern again, so same time as the usual time. And yeah, we just finished. I actually have no idea how long this ran. Oh, 60 minutes. 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. I try to bring good vibes to the internet. I hope you bring good vibes into the chat. Kilmar, again, the live time changed for today, and it's going to change for Wednesday. I'm just shifting the time earlier by half an hour, but it's otherwise going to be the 9 p.m. Eastern time. Cool? All right. Where are we going with this? If you had fun, if you enjoyed the exercise, you enjoyed the workout, you enjoyed the instruction, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We're here every single day. On weekends, we're also here at 9 a.m. Eastern, and that will let you change it up if you want to start your day instead of end your day with some stretches. Whew, okay, that's it for the spiel. I'm going to look at the chat real quick, and then we'll wrap up. I am presuming we got a bunch of questions about the time. Kilmar's question was answered. Kat says, hello, great stretches tonight. Lovely. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for practicing. And thank you for engaging in the chat. I appreciate it. Looking for a question mark. Has some sweaty side of head action going on. What about your upper middle back? What about my upper middle back? I'm trying to figure out when that would have come in. Upper middle back. Oh, you're talking about what I'm doing. Okay. In general, the upper half of your back is designed to be able to do a bunch of stuff, right? When we are doing stretches like the hamstring stretch, for example, I tell you to keep your back relatively straight. For the most part, I think if you're not turning into a ball like this, you're fine. We don't want to put too much pressure onto the back and like squeeze into a position for a really long time and do it all the time, because your back doesn't need that extra pressure, right? The point of this hamstring stretch to lengthen the hamstring, all of that action comes from the angle of your hips. So bending your neck down doesn't actually change the angle of your hips. And so I tell you to try to keep your back relatively straight, because doing this isn't going to help. I know often I'll forget, or I'll be not paying attention, and I'll be looking at my knee and I'll be like, I'm trying to bring my chest down. When you start looking at your knee, when you start looking at your leg, it tends to be the case that your body is going to follow you and turn into a little bit of a rounded shape. If there's a little bit of rounding, it's not the end of the world. If you're rounding and you're feeling pressure in your neck, your pressure in the back, that is something you should not do. Cool? To help with that, you can, instead of looking straight down at your leg and being like, oh, I want to bring it down, you can keep the chest up a little bit by looking up in front of you, that way. And when your neck comes up just a little bit, it doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to like really arc your neck back, just slightly in front of you. It'll help keep your posture a little bit straighter, and it'll help keep your back a little bit straighter. Whew. All right, back to the chat. What else we got? Oh, Jarrett, I should have scrolled more earlier. Jarrett says the upper middle back is tight. What can you do for the upper middle back? Hey, Lulu, welcome back. Cindy says needed these stretches. Lovely. Okay, upper middle back. To stretch out the upper middle back like directly as stretches, I recommend you hold on to something kind of stable and just kind of sit back and pull your shoulders out against it. So this could be a door frame that you can hold the edge of, and it'll help you get into this type of position. Can I do this in a better way right now? All right, let's see. We got a door frame over here. Maybe don't actually use a door handle. I'm gonna stick my hand in the door. If you hang out in this type of position, holding on to the door frame, you can sort of sit back and you'll feel your shoulders relax. And you'll feel a stretch here in that arm. And if you add a little bit of rotation to the side, you'll start loosening that upper middle back. And you can do the same for the other side. Give that a try, see if that helps, and let me know. Okay, scrolling again. Neck and shoulders are tight from driving. Oh, okay. In general, if you want to work on some back mobility, it's never a bad idea to start with some cat-cows. Cat-cows look something like this. If you get on all fours, if you stick your butt sort of up high, arch your back a little bit, stick your belly button down towards the ground, and then sort of round your back and lift up like there's a ball behind you, and you're wrapping your back in the shape of a ball. That will be really good for countering some of the rounding that we do in normal life. But you shouldn't avoid all rounding, and the other half of the cat-cow is not avoiding it and going all in on it. So to do the opposite, I want you to tuck your chin to your chest I want you to lift your back almost as high as it can go and round, deep. This is actually the exact position that we're trying to avoid when you're just trying to touch your toes. You're trying to avoid this, but some movement in that position is not bad, especially if it's just accessing the range of motion. If we're doing a stretch for a long time, we're holding it, we're trying to push and bring a lot of pressure to it. In the short term, it's probably not bad either, but over the long term, it's a lot of pressure on your neck. So movement is good. A lot of pressure for a long time, not so good. Cool. What else we got? The neck. Let me think. If you are getting a lot of that tension because you're driving, here are some things that you can do from a chair. Maybe don't do these while you're driving unless you have some sort of autopilot like lane keep feature, possibly. No, just don't do this while you're driving. You can grab the bottom of a chair. Actually, I'll just pull up a chair and I'll demonstrate. This chair's a little creaky, so I don't like using it. Ooh, it's a scary sound. Okay, if you grab the outside of this chair, you lean away from that arm, and then you pull your neck directly to the side. That will give you a really nice stretch on the side of your neck. The same on the other side. And then finally, you can pull your head down while trying to keep your back straight, right? So from the side, it will look something like this. We have that nice posture. We're pulling the head down. This is gentle. It might look intense, but we're doing this nice and slow and gentle. It will help to stretch out these muscles in the back of the neck, which might help with some tension-related headaches. And you can do some light neck rotations, or you can work on bringing your neck back and forward and back and forward, looking side to side. And there's actually another axis that your neck is really designed to do, and that is to shift from side to side like this, so that your ears, I guess, are coming down towards the shoulder. Doing a couple of those should help with that neck tension, and that is it. All right. I think I got enough time for one last question, then we're going to wrap up officially. I'm going to check YouTube because I haven't looked at this in a little bit. Eduardo, welcome back. Glad to see you. I'm glad you got the notification about starting half an hour early. I appreciate you. We're going to start also half an hour early on Wednesday. So keep that in mind. All right. Scrolling. Gayata says, okay, understandable. Katerina says, I like the newer time. Interesting fact. Gayata, the schedule changes temporary. Yes, indeed. Okay, I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the chat and take a look at if there's anything else left. Oh, okay. Edward Ochang says, looking forward to more. And Enrique says, hello, got any stretches for like between my spine and shoulder blade? Between the spine and shoulder blade. I recommend you hang from something. Hang from a pull-up bar. When you do that, I don't know if this is going to be visible. When you do that, your shoulder blades should extend up and your spine should also lengthen and should help stretch out a lot of the muscles in your back. If you want, you can do something a little bit more reachy. If your shoulder blades, you're trying to push it out away from your spine, one of the ways to do that is to move the shoulder blade out, and that might look a little bit like this. If you can see that the shoulder blade is going from the center of my back to the outside of my back, you can also keep on pulling and stretching it out a little bit that way. That was a horrible visual. I can't imagine that was easy to figure out how to do for yourself. So let me think about how to explain this. Got it. If you're doing a push-up, all right. Oh man, the angle of this is gonna be crazy. Okay, if you're doing a push-up and you don't push your shoulders out and you end up in this kind of like shrugged position, that's gonna bring your shoulder blades really close to your spine. We wanna do the opposite. We want you to push down from the shoulders so that the shoulder blades come out to the sides and help you lift your chest off the ground. So this will automatically be a position where you're using your own muscles to bring your shoulder blades away from your back. When you're already in this position, if you sort of lean over to the side or you bring the arm down like this, your spine will twist a little, but it'll also bring your shoulder blade away from the center of your body. You might feel a little bit of a stretch in the shoulders. Might not be crazy, might not be much, but it's a little bit. And if your spine and shoulders are struggling a little bit, that might be just enough to get you going. Okay, I think that is the last question I have time for. So I'm going to wrap up right here. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thank you for practicing consistency. Remember, that is the most important quality. You can have the best plan ever, but if you can't follow through on the plan, it's not that useful for you, right? So come back in, practice consistency. Let's work on that hip mobility, work on that side split. We are here every single day. And again, today started at 8:30. This is a rare occurrence. I think it's the first time ever, actually, that we've just shifted it early half an hour. And we're going to start early one more time on Wednesday night. Same thing, 8:30 p.m. Wednesday night. But every other day of the week, it is 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Sunday. And on weekends, we also have a 9 a.m. Eastern live. So those are the show times. Come on in, practice consistency, and I hope you enjoyed enough to hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Closing out. Wrapping up. Yep. Close.